Hello students, this side Meena. I hope that you all are fine. So today we will start with the next chapter, chapter number 3, meeting life challenges. Like every chapter has some objectives, this chapter also have so many objectives. After reading this chapter, we will come to know about that what is the nature, type and sources of the stress when we take stress as a life challenge, how we can understand the effects of stress on our psychological functioning, and what are the ways to cope with the stress. In addition, we will also come to know about life skills that help people to stay healthy and some factors that promote positive health and well-being among the students. Like you know that life has so many challenges all the time. You can think of a child who loses his parents at a very young age with no one take care of him or her, a young woman who loses her husband in a car accident, and the parents who bring up children who are physically and mentally challenged. All of us try to meet these challenges in our own life, and all these challenges, problems, and difficult circumstances put us into a state that is known as a stress. If we could handle it properly, then we can increase the probability of our better survival. If the person has high stress, then it can produce that type of result which are very unpleasant to the person, and they can decrease the performance of the individual in their everyday life. On the other hand, if there is a little stress, then person feel low motivation and person lead his all activities at a very slow pace. So stress has so many adverse impact on individual's life. It is also very important to take care of one point, that all type of stress are not always bad and they are not destructive in nature. Like eustress, this is the term that used to describe the level of that stress that is good for us, or it work as person's best for achieving his performance and managing his small challenges. Because of this, person can achieve high level in his performance, but this stress also can convert into distress that could lead so many problems in our body. On the basis of these two things, we can conclude the definition of stress. This is a pattern of response that one person or one organism make towards a stimulus event that is occurring in the environment, and this stimulus, because of the stress, disturbs the equilibrium mean to say the balanced state of the individual. When there is a disturbance in the equilibrium, then person's ability to cope with the stress exceeds. Our next topic is nature of stress. The word stress origin from the Latin word that is strictus, mean to say tight or narrow. Tightness contain the internal feeling of the emotion of a person. This thing we can feel in breathing. Stress is often explained in terms of the environment also in which the person is living and person is responding. If we could handle the stress properly, then we can increase the probability of our survival. Stress in itself include causes as well as the effects. In this term, what will be the cause of the stress and what type of its effect will be on individual's health? It is always a state of confusion as its causes and effects may vary from person to person. Father of modern stress research, Sale, find that stress is a non-specific response, mean to say according to the definition, our body always respond in a general way, like there is no specific response produced by our body related to stress. Whatever the response we are giving, that response always be same. But there is a criticism against this definition, like we can also produce different type of stress reactions in particular situation. Suppose if I am angry one time, then maybe I react in a different way. But I am not angry, but I am feeling stressed due to some another thing. Suppose if my examination is there, then it also cause stress in me. Then I will react in different way. So it is not a non-specific activity. It is also specific activity. Moreover, stress is not a factor that is present not in our body or in environment. It is actually dynamic in nature. After that, there is another cognitive theory of stress that is given by Lazarus and his colleagues. They describe individuals' response related to stressful situation. And two types of approach: appraisal given by them. Here the appraisal mean to say assessing something. In the primary appraisal talked about our perception towards a new thing or our changing environment. When we are perceiving our environment or when we are looking at any new situation, it depends on us that whether we are perceiving that situation in a positive manner or in a negative manner, or our response towards that thing is totally neutral. If people look at the new things in a negative terms, then there is a possibility of harm, threatened and challenged. Harm is assessment of damage that is already done by an event in the past. Threat is an assessment that can be possible in the future or it can occur due to some type of events. On the other hand, challenge is an appraisal that is associated with the expectations of the person that he is having ability to cope with stressful situation. It includes potential of the person that he can manage his stress and he can come out of particular stressful situation. One is the second appraisal. It is an assessment that what type of ability and what type of resources the person is having to cope up with the environment, whether these coping abilities and resources are sufficient to the person so that the person can overcome the harm, threatened and challenged that are produced by the event. These resources that we are talking about in secondary appraisal, it include mental, physical, personal and social. The person is having these resources and one person has a positive attitude which include his physical health, skills and social sports, then the person can easily cope up with the stressful situations. This two-level appraisal process determine not only our cognitive and behavioral responses, it also include emotional and physiological response that we are giving to the external events. These two appraisals cannot be same for every individual, as every individual face different type of problems. They have different type of stressful situations, so these are subjective in nature that vary from individual to individual. It also include one major factor, that is past experience. If one person has handled similar situation that is occurring with the person in the present state, then person can easily cope up with that situation because the person has already faced with the similar situation in the past. So person's past experience help the person to cope up with the situation. Or another factor is controllability. It means one should have mastery on controlling the stressful situation. If one individual think that he can control the negative situation or its effect that are very destructive or adverse to the person, then person will not feel so much stress and person can control his emotions and his behavior also. These stressors result in variety of stress reactions which include physiological or behavioral, emotional and cognitive. If we discuss as physiological level, when we try to pay attention or arousal to a particular stress, then stress related behavior occur. In this hypothalamus, that is the part of our forebrain, react along with two pathways. In the first pathway, it include autonomic nervous system that is related with our unconscious part or involuntary actions. In this, adrenal gland releases large amount of catecholamines in our bloodstream. This lead to one situation in our physical change in which we can see the person is responding into the fight or flight. This is very important term. Fight mean to say when person is ready to confront the stressful event and he is having the will to cope up with the stressful event, or the flight mean to say the person try to escape or withdraw himself from a particular stress. So when all these things happen in our body, then this response occur in a physiological form. There is a second pathway also that involve pituitary gland which provide energy when there is a secretion of cortisol. Our next reaction is emotional. When we counted with the stressful emotion, it include negative emotion also which has sense of fear, anxiety, embarrassment, depression, or sometimes we try to deny the things. Another response is related with the behavior. Our behavior related to the stressful event depend on the person's nature. Some persons are able to confront, or you can say they are having the ability to fight with the stressful event, or some persons try to withdraw themselves, which we can say they try to flight. All these categories related with the behavior responses. Our last one is the cognitive response, that include our beliefs, our perceptions about the threat, harm and controllability at present in our environment. Due to this, we are unable to concentrate on the things and we became very unhappy and unpleasant in our thoughts. Here the word morbid mean to say unpleasant thoughts. The stresses that people are experiencing, they are also very in different dimensions. Like first one is the intensity. The stress the person is feeling, it depends on the intensity, that at what intensity the person is feeling the stress. If the situation is not so bothering the person, so the intensity will be considered as low. If the situation is very stressful, the intensity will be high. After that, there is a duration of the stress. If the causing situation of stress is for a short time or period, then the stress will not have so much effect on the person's psychological and physical health. If the duration of the period will be for long, then it has many adverse effects on the person. Then there is a complexity. In this, if we are able to cope up with the stress that is causing by one particular event, then we will consider that the situation has less complexity. Otherwise, we will consider more. Like we can take the example of COVID-19. If this situation will be solved out within a particular time, or we can cope up with this stress caused by COVID-19, then the complexity will be very low. If we are unable to find the way, or we are unable to confront the problem, then the things will be considered as a complex, and it could arouse very high level of stress which could have adverse effect on the individual. Our next one is predictability. In this, we consider that problems predictable which are present in the time, and we can cope up with that problem, as we know that this situation can create this type of problem. Like in the case of COVID-19, we can predict that if we will not control this situation, then which type of circumstances we can face. On the other hand, there are some stress that are unexpected, like if there is a sudden demise in the family, it will arouse feeling of stress at very high level, as it was not expected. An individual who is experiencing stress also depends on his physiological strength. Like if the person is having good health, the person can also face the stress. But if the person is having poor physical health or weak constitution, then there will be very adverse effect on person's health. Like in some cases, some children has weak immunity, like before exam some children feel stomach ache or infected by the viral very easily. So these are the signs of weak physical health. There are some another psychological characteristics also, which include mental health, temperament and self control of the person. If the person is having high self efficacy, high self esteem, then the person is able to cope with the stressful event, because the person is having self confidence in himself or herself. Like in exam, if there are so many questions and out of them, if child don't know about the 3 or 4 questions, still the child have confidence that I have read all the things in my chapter, so I can give the answers. So these all the things include psychological characteristics of the child which shows the self confidence. There is another cultural context. In this, stress experienced by the person in matter of availability of the resources to the person, like money, social skills and person's coping style also. All these are the things that are related with the society and the person as well. If the person is having positive environment, then the person can cope with the stress very easily. Our next topic is signs and symptoms of the stress. Like I already discussed that how we are responding to a particular situation of stress, it varies from person to person, as it is in subjective nature. If the person has already experienced some stressful situation, mean to say the person has a past experience, then person can easily overcome the stressful events. It also depends on upbringing of the child. The symptoms that caused by the stress It can be physical, emotional, behavioral, and social in nature. By looking at these symptoms, we try to resolve the stress. If the stress is unresolved at early stage, then it can create serious implications. So in this way, we have discussed under this topic stressors. Like you can see now in this table that under the stresses we have done types, that the stresses can be environmental, psychological and social. Under this we have done the dimensions, which include intensity, deepness or degree of the stress, duration, complexity, predictability, and stress appraisals that include physiological response, behavioral response, emotional response and cognitive response, and the resources that are present to the person. Physical, which include money, medical care; personal, the person's skills and coping styles; and social, that include person's social network and professional help. After that we have discussed about include physiological, psychological and cultural. In physiological, we include person's health, constitutional and vulnerabilities. Under psychological, we include mental health, temperament, self-concept, and under the cultural definition and meaning. So this is all about our today's topic. In the next video, I will talk about the next topics. Till the time, try to do study thoroughly of your chapter. Thank you.